So let's get into the agenda. It's an important agenda tonight because the historic move to a 23rd man has been made by the league on the eve of the season. It has been done amidst much support within the industry and much debate outside.
This is about health and safety, and it's a medical substitution. It's available on a limited basis, which I'll let Stephen talk to. And, of course, then monitoring the adherence and the integrity of that will be the job of the right people in the AFL. And I know that will then come to bear. That's how it works.
We've made a lot of changes in our game in terms of rotations, length of game, changes to rules, and you can see the strain's going to be there on the players.
Clearly, when this was introduced previously, it was performance-based. We haven't gone back to that. We think the medical aspect of it is improving the health and safety of our game.
If we can make a change that actually doesn't affect the way the game's played on the field, and make a policy change to, even if it's a 1 or 2%, to make the game safer or easier to be safe for those making the decisions, we're going to make it. It won't make any difference.
I guess the criticism might be, well, why wasn't it done previously? There's nothing you can do about that now. It's better to make a good decision a little bit late.
So that's how it landed. It won't make a difference. That's the bit I would most dispute. This is a historic moment for the game. The 23rd player has never been part of footy, and it is enshrined now. There are limitations around it, but not nearly as tight as they might have been. What I'm most surprised by is just how urgent this apparently became between Thursday and Wednesday. If you go back through the transcripts of the off-season, this was at no point a live discussion, and yet it became so urgent it had to be imposed before the opening bounce tomorrow night.
Power of the coaches, power of Alistair Clarkson. You know, I've been critical of this happening 1 day, 3 days, 2 days, 1 day before the season starts. Now that's been introduced, Gerard, I think it's completely wrong.
Right.
Yeah, no, not right. I'm only joking. I think it's completely wrong. I think the AFL has opened up a doorway where the integrity of the game can be questioned, and it's their doing. The AFL has made this happen on the request of the coaches. And you can sit there and say to me, what, the integrity of the game? The AFL, when they announced it today, also announced penalties for those who are going to break it. Like Gil was even joking a little bit today. He says, the coaches will try and get around it. No. We can't have half jokes on this. I was of the belief, and I had trust in doctors for many years, not forever, but for many years, that they would not put a concussed player back on the ground. They had the 20 minutes, really happy with that, and now we call it a duty of care. We already had a duty of care. You're concussed, you're off. And they're all putting it under the umbrella of duty of care. I honestly think the coaches want four players on the bench so they can keep competing. So I think the AFL has opened the door. We had Jack and Eddie last night when we asked them, what have you blokes been talking about? How are you going to get around it? Oh, you're faking injury. What is going on, mate? We didn't need this. In my opinion, we didn't need it.
The case hasn't been made publicly as to why it's necessary. So the concussion part's really simple, and I'm absolutely supportive of that. In the complete care package around concussion, which now includes the 12-day protocol, so you've got all manner of safeguard built in for player and competition alike, the sub makes perfect sense. The overreach is the grey area of other injuries, and that's so when this landed, it lands to heavy suspicion, which I think tells you a story in its own right, is how might it be manipulated. So that's a bit of a sad state of affairs that's the flinch reaction anyway. I do agree with your point last night, having thought about it, is there is a moral imperative now on the coaches and the clubs not to exploit it. They asked for it, they got it.
Absolutely.
They in a very real way are the custodians of it in terms of how it plays before the public.
Yeah.
Because every one of these will be scrutinised so deeply. There's not the prescriptive 12 days, although the doctor is supposed to make the judgment that this will be a 12-day plus injury, but then you can go back through the AFL's chief medical officer for a shorter period of time if you think the player can get up for the following week. That won't play well with the constituency when that happens.
I mean, the media and fans, they witch hunt everyone. If they even think that a player has, if they even think that a player has cheated in some way and that person is found out to be cheated for the good of the team, how will that player be received? He will be called a cheat. You know, and everyone says, oh, you're being over-dramatic. No. This is serious stuff. They've introduced a 23rd player and penalties. You know what the penalties range from, Gerard?
Yeah, draft picks and premiership points.
And they think that the clubs are going to try and exploit it. This is a dog's breakfast, mate. It could be. It's got the potential to be.
Yeah, I hope it's not. It needs to work.
So do I.
So my main view is it has to work because it'll be indefensible if it doesn't work to do it so late in the piece.
Yeah.
It'll be indefensible to have done it like this. Leigh Montagna, welcome.
Thank you.
David King, good to have you here.
Gee, Robbo.
Hello, everyone.
Before you get to your whiteboard, just your reaction to we have a 23rd man in AFL footy now.
Yeah, strange how it's happened, isn't it? They've spent 3 weeks selling us why we want less rotations and why we want a longer game. And then a heartbeat, OK, we didn't really mean that. Have an extra player to work with. So I don't understand the logic of the last 3 weeks. If the sell we were given was correct, why are we making this? This is a pretty significant change. An extra player in the ground. It's going to be rorted. We know that's going to happen. Injuries are part of the marathon. Man management is part of the brief for the coaching and the phys editors, as they're called. That's their brief for the year. If the players need a rest or if you don't want to take the risk, hold them out for an extra game, whatever it may be. But this has come too quickly. And I do think the extra couple of $1 million that we've suddenly found to spend on this player who may or may not play on any given game could have been spent more wisely.
In the community football clubs?
No, at the footy clubs that have sacked a third of their staff.
What do you thought?
I don't mind it from the concussion sub point of view. I think that would have been fair. I think we would all agree we want to try and do everything we can to protect concussion. I don't think we need it for injuries. I think that's part of sport. That's bad luck. We could have done without it. I'm surprised they've gone as far as that. But look, and I'm not too concerned about this whole the clubs need more time. Clubs, they're going to pick their emergencies anyway. They're going to pick their 23rd player that would warm up before the game just in case someone got injured. So it doesn't bother me that it's come late. Because I think clubs and players will adjust fine, but I'm a bit surprised they've gone as far as an injury will replace and not just concussion.
All right, whiteboards at the ready. We're going to build a watch list in a moment's time, which I rather love the idea. It'll be easy to get on and very hard to get off if I know the two of you.